What's up, Heather?
What's up, B?
And what's up, all y'all? Welcome back to Tortured Bourbon, where we sip, argue, and I philosophize our way through America's favorite brown water.
Except today, we've got company.
That's right. Friend of the show, bottle bringer extraordinaire, and a serial bad influence, Aaron's back.
Say hi to the people, Aaron.
Hi, people.
So today he brought a bottle and a story, and it all serves a purpose. So we're going to let that be his admission ticket onto the show today.
But before we get to that, if this is your first time with us, why don't you go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. We do this a couple times a week because you can't get enough about bourbon and we need a hobby. But where else could they go, Miss Heather?
You can go to torturedbourbon.com, find anything and everything you could ever want in life. You can find links to our episodes, links to our merch. Christmas is coming up, y'all. And you can find links to our rants, raves, and cocktail recipes, and anything else we feel like throwing up there, not throw like putting up there.
That too.
The words are hard.
Shout out to Tyler. He called out how great the Comfort Color sweatshirt was.
Yeah, Tyler, thanks for that. Yeah, and y'all go listen to Tyler.
Yeah, whatever
we didn't
Tyler
pay him.
says.
We didn't pay him or anything.
No,
Comfort Colors is the best.
They're great.
It is the best.
Nice and soft.
The more you wash it, the better it gets.
That is absolutely true. Feels better and better.
Yep. You need to look thinner, just put on black. So, Aaron, what did you bring for us today?
So I brought us a bottle of Horse Soldier small batch bourbon.
All right.
It's a whiskey born on horseback in Afghanistan and aged in Kentucky barrels. And we're featuring it in honor of Veterans Day for all those who have fought for this country.
We are. And we always try, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, we try to feature something that is for a cause and for a purpose. Right. So Aaron was kind enough to bring this on, but that's not the whole story of its origination, is it?
So this is probably one of the most badass origin stories in bourbon, in my opinion. So after 9/11, a group of U.S. Army Special Forces, I think Green Berets, they were the first troops to set foot in Afghanistan, and they had to do a lot. They had to navigate mountains, navigate valleys, and the terrain was so rough that the only way to move was on horseback. You couldn't really take a tank up a mountain like that.
Wow. So they were learning to fight like, I think it was the Mujahideen, who were the traditional fighters in Afghanistan on horses.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that either.
Mujahideen.
So that is where the name horse soldiers comes from. Horse. My voice rose a little bit. I'm sorry. Horse soldiers. So these guys literally rode horses into battle against the Taliban. And it sounds like a movie, and it did become one.
Yeah, the story was the basis for 12 Strong, the movie starring Chris Hemsworth, that my co-star Heather definitely has seen. Except the real heroes didn't have Hollywood trailers or stunt doubles.
So fast forward a few years, and those same soldiers, the ones that had the horses on the mountainside in Afghanistan, they retired from the military and they decided, well, what are we going to do? We're going to build something cool. And we're going to celebrate our brotherhood and American craftsmanship while doing so. So they created the American Freedom Distillery in Petersburg, Florida in 2015.
And they don't just slap a patriotic label on someone else's whiskey. So they actually went around the world learning how to make the stuff. Ireland, Scotland, Kentucky, studied mash bills, studied distilling techniques. They really wanted to make their own thing.
And the brand they built, Horse Soldier Bourbon, became a symbol of what they call, quote, the American spirit of service and sacrifice.
And every bottle design pays homage to that mission. The horse and rider embossed on the front. It actually comes from America's Response Monument at Ground Zero.
And so that's a statue of a Green Beret on a horseback, right? That actual statue.
Yeah, and they actually mold these bottles. So the cast for the bottles, when they mold them, it actually uses steel recovered from the World Trade Center site.
Wow, that kind of gives you chills, like knowing it's like that connected, you know?
So each bottle's like just picking up a piece of history and a piece of our patriotism.
Yeah, and if anyone deserves to do that, it's these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really pour this one without thinking about what it actually represents. I mean,
pretty neat.
People have died. These people have seen a lot. They've changed the world, changed the history of the world, and it's American spirit right here, all bottled up.
Yeah.
One of them, there's a podcast, Bourbon Pursuit, very famous. Mm-hmm. They do Pursuit Bourbon, the picks. Mm-hmm. Years ago, they had these guys on, the founders, one of the most interesting podcasts I've ever listened to was them talking about how they started up Horse Soldier and their connection and the stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it's worth checking out. Bourbon Pursuit. They don't need us to.
No, but sounds like a great episode.
It is an excellent episode. So they're bringing this home to Kentucky now. They're building a $200 million project called Horse Soldier Farms on Lake Cumberland. It's going to be a distillery, restaurant, and a destination spot. I can't wait to go. A monument to this American craft we call bourbon.
So, guys, you've made it when your kind of retirement plan is to build a bourbon empire.
Absolutely.
Like, I am now inspired. Let's go. Let's get started.
Yeah, and they've earned this. They've earned every single drop of this.
They have.
So before we dive into what it tastes like, let's break down what's actually in this bottle.
So again, this is Horse Soldier small batch bourbon, and it's kind of right in the middle of their lineup. It's bottled at 95 proof, which gives you just enough heat to bring the flavors forward, but it doesn't scorch your palate. No, not really going to be a Kentucky hug there.
Yeah, it's a traditional Kentucky. It kind of leans that way with 70% corn, 20% wheat, and 10% malted barley. And there's no rye in this one.
So this is a wheater. Yeah, straight up wheater.
You're going to get that softer, sweeter, wheated characters like think caramel, vanilla, honey, instead of your peppery spices you get with a rye.
It's classified as a straight bourbon, which means it's aged at least 2 years. And though they don't have an exact age statement, most sources are saying the small batch is coming between 4 to 6 years. So one of those medium tier.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of age, but it's got a little bit. It hung out in there for a little while. So again, distillation originally took place for them under contract at Midwest Grain Products, MGP. If you want to know what that is, we've got a whole series of episodes on it. Check it out. That's out in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. But as their own American Freedom Distillery operation has expanded, they have started the transition to bring production as well to Kentucky for their upcoming Horse Soldier Farms facility.
Yeah, so right now you're going to be drinking a blend of barrels personally selected by these founders, the people and the horses, distilled to their specs, aged in new charred American oak, and batched together for balance rather than brute force.
Yeah. And that's why the small batch sits between their 87 straight bourbon and their 111 barrel strength. They say it's the just right pour in the lineup.
So price-wise, you're going to pay around $65 to $75 MSRP. It depends on your state and the markup that they're going to have, but that's the range.
And this is their flagship sipping bourbon. The bottle here tells a story, and it hits that approachable middle ground between collector's pour and casual glass.
Yeah, I feel like that $65 range is where we're always willing to pay that usually for a decent pour.
So I dove into what the brand and whiskey community say you should pick up, both before you sip and when you're tasting. So first we're going to start with the nose. You should expect a warm vanilla kiss, a shadow of ginger and cherries, and that underlying sweet corn foundation you get from a wheated bourbon.
Underlying sweet corn foundation and wheat is prominent for me.
Absolutely, there's a sweetness, and we all, when we first smelled this tonight, we all remarked on it's such a pleasant aroma.
It has a very soft palate to it, to me.
Very soft.
Not palate, a very soft aroma.
And guys, I do get, and you'll probably make fun of me, I don't know that I would have called it cherry, but there's a little fruitiness there.
All right, so you might not remember them, but they used to sell in gas stations those cherry pies in the wrappers.
I have seen them,
and they were pastryed with a slight frosting on them. It actually does have
that smell to it.
I would not have picked that, but that I can get it.
So it's almost like an artificial sweet cherry.
They were real cherries,
but with the frosting on it is what I meant. I meant that combo.
I don't mean like Robitussin.
No. I meant that it was a cherry smell with that added sweet that you would have gotten from that.
On this pastry.
Right, that's
on
what I
this
meant.
turnover. It's a turnover. It's a cherry turnover.
Yeah. I grew up eating turnovers all the time.
Okay,
We call them hand pies, though, where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah. That's country.
Yeah. Well, Granny called them Apple Jacks.
Oh,
Apple Jacks.
I love that. Even if it was cherry?
No. That was,
it had to be apple?
She made apple Jacks.
Well, I mean, hey, we grew up calling everything Coke or Coca-Cola.
Well, yeah, that too.
It could be a mellow yellow, and you're going to call it a Coca-Cola.
You put peanuts in the Coke?
I've done that before.
And the RC Cola, baby.
Katie, what should we get on the palate?
On the palate, you'll feel the creamy toffee and dark fruit fold into caramel and oak with just enough spice and wood to keep things interesting. Finish should be medium, carrying the oak and spice forward without hanging around too long.
That's a great wheater.
I'd drink that all day.
That's a great weeder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's spot on where it says, Katie, where you talked about enough spice and wood to keep things interesting.
Yes.
That comes in towards the finish, and it's right. It keeps it from being overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a great layering effect.
Yeah, I would say caramel first, and then it eases into that oak, and that oak just lingers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then not a overwhelming way.
No. If you accidentally leave this bottle here, I won't tell you about it.
I'm telling you, it's one of those you can find on the shelf relatively easy here. There's a lot of people that don't buy it because they don't recognize the name, and it's a little bit more expensive.
This might be one of our next purchases.
I gotta say, if you buy one, it's good. It's a great sipper.
Yeah, it is.
It's very surprising, and the more expensive one is even better. Like, it is well worth it in a lot of cases.
That is delicious. B, what are you getting flavor wise?
So I'm searching. The caramel hits up front. There's burnt sugar right on the tip.
That little bit of bitterness that brings.
Yeah.
Again, that's not a negative thing.
No espresso.
Or chocolate.
No.
What about toffee? Because they said toffee.
So we've established. I apparently don't eat toffee.
I don't even know what toffee
because I don't know what it tastes like. So.
Is that a British thing? Australians eat toffee?
Caramel sugar,
Caramel sugar, yeah.
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Isn't toffee in Heath bars?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't eat bars.
it's so we grew up eating toffees, and we do homemade toffee, and it's it can be either hot or soft, but it's usually caramel flavor, but like sugar caramel.
It does give you just enough spice. I'm trying to place the spice.
Not a rye spice.
No, not baking spice.
Mm. Does it taste like it's proof?
I think 95 is pretty spot on. I would have guessed if I was just guessing 90 to 95.
I agree.
Between 90 and 100, actually, is probably what I would have put it if I was guessing. What about you? You think so?
Yeah. In fact, we warmed up with a bottle and bond weeder.
Mm-hmm. We did the Southern Star, correct?
Yeah. The Paragon or whatever it's called.
Paragon. Yep, you nailed it.
And I would have thought it was around that proof. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell five
No, right.
2.5%. No. No, I'm not even.
To a significant figure?
Yeah, no.
That is a 45% ABV.
Yeah, no.
And the fact that the bottle alone has touched 9/11 still.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they really, I think the word is intentional. Like, clearly they were very intentional when they decided to create their brand and create their bottling and all of that. They knew what their mission was and what they wanted to honor. So, and you guys did a darn good job picking things. And I'm excited to get a bottle once they start, selling what they're producing in Kentucky at the farm. Well, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for a bottle next time we're in our local ABC store. Highly recommend y'all grab it. It's a hush your mouth for me. It goes to hush your mouth for me because of this. It's a smaller boutique distillery. Price range I think is pretty on point, and it's a darn good everyday sipper.
So what I would say, I think this is the second to the top one, and forgive me because you're going to need to print out that chart right there.
Hush your mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling a little bit.
It's not Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's not Chernobyl, and it's certainly not Biddlin.
We've only ranked two things Chernobyl.
I mean, these people fought for your freedom.
Oh, say, can you see? Speak with the patriotism in your heart.
Oh, well. If I rank it anything lower than that, I'll be shamed.
I'm just kidding.
I rank it a bald eagle.
You win.
That ain't on this chart.
I rate a bald eagle.
Winner.
It is somewhere comfortably between a very high doggle hunt and a hush your mouth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's
a good call.
It's a great buy at $65. I like the people you're supporting.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, right? So I can pay 10 extra bucks for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see them get their distillery up and running.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to see what they're doing. So I'll pay $65 for it to be, and I'll share it.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep thinking it's a doggle hunt, because it's something I'm going to want to share
Yeah.
with people and tell the story
Yeah.
and do that type thing. But
And
in
it's
terms
something
of
I'd love to have on our bar cart to sip on.
Yeah, but in terms of its quality, it's getting up there around Hush Your Mouth.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I mean, the other night we rated. I went back and thought about the Eagle Rare episode we just did, and the more I've thought about it, I thought one of those Eagle Rares was a Hush Your Mouth, but the other twos are dogville hunts for me. They're just good everyday.
I get your point.
10-year-old
The hoppy
bourbons.
pick was a Hush Your
Yeah.
Mouth.
So I'm not being disparaging. I'm saying it's living in this.
It's in that realm.
It's got two qualities to it. One is I want it to be an everyday, so we can
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want it to be something we put behind the shelf and never
Yeah.
sip. I
Agreed.
want it
That's a
to
good
be-
point.
So I'm kind of conflicted in how we rate stuff, but I think what we're saying is we really daggone good like it.
We daggone do.
Daggone like it.
And if you have any, veteran friends in your life that are into bourbon, this would be a great bottle to pick up for them and give them for Veterans Day coming
I'd
up.
love it
Yeah.
Well, you
I did
need
get it
to
as a
enlist.
gift, by the way, and it was a great gift.
Yeah.
It's a great gift.
Yes.
I mean, bourbon's always a great gift.
Yeah. No, I'm
So-
not turning it down.
But again, happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of you who have served this country. Thank you guys, the manufacturers of Horse Soldier. You did a great job. Or the brains behind it. Hush your mouth. Good stuff.
Yeah. And Aaron, thanks for coming back on.
Of course.
Yeah, as always.
always.
And thanks for being the bottle bringer.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. So
My only issue with Aaron on the show is he always finishes his pour before the cheers.
It's just too good.
It's just
It's
too
too good.
good.
Well,
All right,
we'll
until
cheers.
next time, y'all.
cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.